Welcome. I'm Nancy Russo of Creators Roundtable. I'm happy to welcome to you Is Your Career Hurting Your Back? Learn how to relieve pain and increase creativity, featuring Andrea Brody. Since some of you are new here, I want to give you a little intro. The Creators Roundtable is a small group coaching and Slack community. We meet once a month on Zoom for accountability, support, and to learn from one another to help level up our careers as creatives. Members get free perks such as these events. Our Slack-only membership includes 50% off for these events, and both group and Slack members can participate in our weekly co-working focus sessions, very active conversation channels, and our monthly happy hour. Registration is open now through June 15th. We have 2 spots left. We have 2 more health-related events in June: Work Smarter, Not Harder, Unleash the Power of the Positive Intelligence Operating System, and Improve Your Productivity with Ayurveda. And in July, Writing for SEO and Humans. Everyone who is registered will be added to our email list. So if you hear from us about our other events like this, and if you want to unsubscribe, thanks for your opportunity to be in touch with you. About Andrea Brody. I first met Andrea when we were both members of the Designers Roundtable, which is now the Creators Roundtable. At the time, she was a graphic designer. She loved the creative work, but the long hours she spent sitting at her desk took a toll on her body, and she developed chronic neck, shoulder, and back pain. She found relief with Pilates and decided to shift her career into teaching this healing method in 2008. Based in LA, Andrea helps people get stronger and alleviate stress in their bodies and minds so they can live balanced lives. Her clients experience better sleep, reduced neck and back pain, and better posture. She works with television writers, CEOs, and moms to help them live a life they love with less pain. Take it away, Andrea.
Hi everybody. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me. And I'm so happy to see familiar faces. And I, like Nancy said, I was part of this group. I was actually part of the first group ever when it first started. And I'm so happy that it's still happening now because I learned so much from that group. And I still have friends that I met in this group. And even though I don't do design work anymore now, we still meet. And even though our businesses are different, we still help each other because the basic thing about marketing in our businesses are still the same. So as you know, I switched careers, and when I was doing the design work, I was sitting a lot and I used a tablet, and that repetitive motion of sitting all day and working on my design projects, I just developed so much neck, shoulder, and back pain. I ended up going to physical therapy about 6 times, and it didn't really get any relief from it until I discovered Pilates. And then Pilates is a full body workout, so it works everything, and your body isn't just separate parts, it works together as a whole. So when I discovered that, it actually started to give me more relief. And that's when I decided to learn more about it and incorporate it into my life and change careers so that I could help people that were going through the same things that I was experiencing in my body and help them. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, so that I could bring it to the community that I came from, so that I could give you tips and help you out, because you might be experiencing some of what I was experiencing. So I'm going to share my screen now. And let me get back to that beginning. Okay, so because I don't design much anymore, my tools are showing. That's the little glitch I have today. But I did design the slide. So here's a little bit about me and what I just said about my background and what I do to help people. And then I just wanted to kind of show you, like, this is, I think, how we sit. And maybe you can relate to this. I still do it today. Like, I'm sitting right now talking to you guys, and I do this because I teach people this way. I teach people in person, I teach people online. And I know that my head goes forward into this screen, like this picture. And I'm wondering if you guys feel that way too. It just like made me laugh when I saw these, and I wanted to share them with you, because I think we do this to ourselves all the time. And then I wanted to ask you guys, like, have you ever felt like I felt? And just put put a one in the chat and let me know. Like, have you experienced any pain, neck, shoulder, back pain, body pain? Um, just shoot something in the chat, let me know. Okay. Wow. Almost almost all you guys. Okay. I'm sorry that's happening. I know what it feels like, but I'm gonna help you guys out and give you some tips, and make sure to, we're gonna also work out a little bit so you can experience Pilates. And then I'm also gonna have some special offers for you at the end, some special things to share with you. So some people might not know what Pilates is or haven't done it before. So I also wanted to let you know a little bit, a general overview of what it is. Okay. So I mentioned before that it works your whole body. So it's a system of exercises that helps with your posture, strength, and your flexibility. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Like when you sit all day, um, you kind of slump and you get into that posture like we saw in the picture. But when you are doing different exercises like Pilates, it helps keep you upright and strong because you're building that core strength. It also helps rehabilitate injuries and reduce chronic pain in the body. And you don't need to be injured to do it, but for me, it helped me because I had the issues with my neck, shoulder, and back. It's also good for your mental health, focus, and your concentration. And it also prevents the risk of injuries and enhances your performance in all your other activities. So, an example of that is when you're working on your whole body and keeping it strong. If you do something like, for example, I fractured and sprained my foot very badly earlier this year, but it wasn't as bad of an injury because I was already strong. So I had to have my foot immobilized in a boot. But people were like, when it happened to me, a lot of people were like, this is, you're going to be in a boot for a really long time. I knew someone like my cousin, my sister, whatever, and they were in a boot for 6 months. Well, I was in a boot for 2 weeks. And I felt very lucky, and I rehabilitated very quickly because I was already strong and I had exercises and knew how to fix myself after and heal more quickly. So I feel, very fortunate to have that. So now I've talked about myself and what Pilates is. I want to kind of share with you other people's experience that do jobs similar to what we do, like work in creative fields. So this is Brian, and so he is a CEO of a social media company. He sits all day, and he also has a lot of meetings. He's on Zoom and he travels. So he was experiencing a lot of back pain. So he's talking here about like the work we do together and his experience. So through Pilates, we strengthened his core. It helped improve his posture so that he didn't have that back pain. Some other things I recommended to him were that he would, do walking meetings if he could, so that he wasn't sitting so much, because his hips got really tight, and that happens when you sit a lot too. Also, that he would do things like get up and stretch, just take a few minutes. Little things throughout the day make a big difference. You don't have to take 1 hour out of your day in a big chunk. Sometimes you think you don't have a lot of time. You don't have to do that. I know you get busy, you have deadlines, you're stressed. You can do it in little small chunks, and that all adds up, and that makes a difference. And it doesn't take such a toll on your body from sitting all the time. So you can think about it like that, and it doesn't seem as stressful, but it helps you. So his back pain improved, and then he felt a lot better in his body through that. And then this is Amy. and she's a television writer. And she came to me with really rounded forward shoulders because she's always typing on her computer, and she has a very high stress job with deadlines. And she, as you can see, she had chronic pain for up to 20 years. And she would come to me just so tight in her chest and rounded forward and the head forward, like that picture, right? So we worked together to strengthen her back and open the chest. When your chest is closed, you can't really breathe, and everything just keeps getting tighter. So we worked on strengthening her back, opening her chest, strengthening her core so she can sit up tall in the chair so her back doesn't get compressed and have low back pain. And then through that, she would start to come in like this, leave like that. Then over time, she'd come in more open. And then we'd give her little homework exercises that don't take a lot of time. And things that are simple, like keep your head against your headrest when you're in the car and take little breaks, or roll your shoulders up and back in between, when you're working. Just small stuff that makes a difference throughout the day. And then now she's experiencing a reduction in her pain for the first time. So it's just small things like that that make a big difference. So moving into that, I experienced that same feeling, and I don't know if you can. So I want you guys again in the chat to let me know, like, do you feel like you can't get up from your desk as well? Like, do you feel that pressure that you feel like you're working and you have to kind of sit there and and you are feeling like you're hungry or you're thirsty, but you have to keep pressing on? So you can either put yes, no, one in the chat. Okay. Yes, because I've been there too. And I remember a very good example of this for myself, and I feel like I relate to you guys. I was working on a project and I had a deadline, and I love to creative work. I love working on design stuff, but I just couldn't come up with another idea. And I just sat there at the computer and I felt like I have to get this done. I have to do it. And my shoulder was hurting so bad. I had a headache and nothing was coming to me, and I was getting so frustrated, and I was sitting there for like an hour, and then I hit the wall, and I just gave up, and I went outside and I took a walk because it was just too much for me. So I took that like just 10-15 minutes and I took a walk. And in that time, the idea came to me. And it was because I allowed myself a new environment, space to reset myself, refresh my mind, and gave myself that time. And that's when the ideas come, when you allow yourself just a moment to let them flow, not pressuring yourself, pushing yourself. So in that 10 minutes, you think you're saving time when you're like pressing on, but that's not true. I wasted an hour thinking I had to sit at my desk, when by allowing myself and taking care of myself and stepping outside, I came up with an idea in 10 minutes. So that is something I really want you guys to think about, because taking care of yourself and doing that and taking that small break saved me so much time that I wasted sitting at my desk. And besides that, with the idea and moving forward with my work when I came back, it also, when you do those little things for yourself, it impacts the quality of your work. It impacts the quality of your work long term and your creativity long term when you do that for yourself. It impacts your relationships with your clients and if you work at a job, like not freelance, with your coworkers. It impacts your relationships with your friends and family because you are more equipped to deal with them because you're in a better mental space. And your clients, they come to you, they're stressed, they have pressure, and you need to be confident and in a good place to deal with those pressures. So when you're in a good place because you take care of yourself, you're going to be better equipped to be confident and take on their needs. And that's going to impact the longevity of your career and how you come to them. So I just feel that that's very important. And it's very small things, like I said, like setting a timer and making little meetings for yourself to take breaks for yourself. Putting a mirror up by the side of your desk so that you can see if your head's going forward and your shoulders going forward into your desk. Just rolling your shoulders up and back so that you can move if you feel like you're in a creative flow and you can't get up from your desk. Just those tiny things that you do to take care of your body and yourself. So, and I love what you guys are saying, that some of you are already doing some of those things. Yeah, Jenny, I think that's really great. I love that you do that. That you have a yoga mat on the floor and you take short breaks. Wow, you're doing an amazing job. And Steve, that you do walking meetings for a couple hours. That's awesome. Great. Very good. Okay. So let's take a small break now to work out together. Okay. And Ginny, you can go to your yoga mat on the floor. We're all going to find a space on the floor. And then also I want to know, like, if any of you guys have any injuries or special conditions. This is going to be gentle. We're just introducing you guys to Pilates. But if there's anything you guys need me to know, you can, and if it's private message me or just put it in the chat and let me know. And then also, if anything doesn't feel good, just skip it, okay? Because you want to feel good in your body and you don't want to do anything that doesn't feel good, okay? And then we'll meet each other back on the floor. Okay, Sheila, I see your message, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna turn my camera off and turn it back on when I get to the floor, and I'll meet you guys all back on the floor. And then we're gonna work out.
Are you waiting for us, Andrea?
Yes. Come
Oh,
back.
okay, because I'm on a desktop. There's no way that you can see me on the floor. So I think other people might be the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like on my knees right now, but as soon as I sit down, you will not see me.
Okay, yeah. So,
So I would definitely start.
okay, if anyone can adjust their cameras, do it. And if not, you can just watch me. Okay. Okay. All right. So go ahead and lie on your backs. And just like me, and let me know, you guys, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lie on your backs. Your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor. Your arms are long by your sides. Okay? And just first, let's just breathe, okay? We hold our breath a lot all the time. We're busy, we're working. So I want you to take a long breath in. Let your ribs expand out to the sides. And then breathe out. And your ribs will come together. And just feel your back on the mat. Let everything relax. Your hips, your shoulders, the back of your head. Breathe in and out. We're going to do it 3 more times. Your ribs open out to the sides. And then they close together. And I want you to engage your abdominals. So gently pull your belly button in towards your spine as you exhale. 2 more. And exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Okay, from here, put your arms back down by your sides. And then you're going to take your right leg and just lift it up 90 degrees and keep your back on the mat and touch the floor. And switch to the left. So you're using your stomach to lift your knee up and your back stays flat on the floor. So it's like you're making resistance. You're pulling your knee up and then you're pushing it down. Up and down. Up and down. 2 more rounds. And down. Up. Down. 1 more each way. And then take a big breath in and out. Now we're going to go back to the right leg. You're going to lift it up like you just did. And then you're going to reach it out to 45 degrees. And then bend it in and reach it out. And think of getting long from the top of your head to your heel. Bend and straighten, keeping your back on the mat, your abdominals engaged. In and out. 2 more. And your arms are just gently pressing on the mat. 1 more time. Your eyes are looking up to the ceiling, so your neck is long. And then put your foot back down. And then switch sides. Bend the left one in. And breathe out. Breathe in, pull it in. And out. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more time. And then put your foot back on the floor. We're going to go back to the right side. You're going to take your leg, you're going to take it up towards the ceiling. Flex your foot. Don't worry if your leg's not as straight as mine. And then you're going to go down towards the floor as low as you feel comfortable. You don't want to feel any tension in your back. Point your foot and come back up. So your back stays on the mat. You don't want it popping up. And then point and come back up. You want to think of getting as long as you can from the top of your head to the bottom of your foot. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more time. And then place your foot back on the floor, switching to the left. The same thing. Flex, really reach through your heel down and point up. Flex, point, flex, point. 2 more. Flex, point. 1 more. Flex, and point. Okay, from here, you're going to take your arms, you're going to reach them up to the ceiling. And then a lot of times people's shoulders, because they're rounded forward, like we talked about earlier, they're already up like this. And you just want to relax and breathe and try to drop them down. So just kind of let them go up and then breathe out and let them go down. Let them go up. Let them relax down. And 3 more times. Let them go back. 2 more. Let them go back. And 1 more. And back. Now keep them back. And then just take your arms and reach them back down to the floor and open your chest. Breathe out. Then back up to the ceiling and keep your shoulders back how we had them. And breathe out and reach down. Up to the ceiling. And breathe out and broaden across the front of your chest. And 2 more times. And out. And 1 more. And out. Now we're going to reach up. And we're going to go a little bit back behind you, but you want to keep your back long and still on the mat. And you can also straighten your legs if your hips feel tight, like this. So you get a full body stretch, if that feels better to you. So you just reach back, and you go back to the ceiling. You reach back to the ceiling. 3 more, keep breathing. To the ceiling. 2 more. To the ceiling. And 1 more. And to the ceiling. Now we're going to make little arm circles. So you're going to go out to the sides and down to your hips. And you want to feel it from your shoulder blades. So you're circling around and you're connecting to your back. So your chest is open. You keep reaching and around and up. Good. And your legs can be straight or they can be bent, whatever feels better on your back. So like this, or straight. And 2 more times. Breathe in, breathe out. 1 more. Now we're going to go the other way. Go out, up to the ceiling, and down. Out, up to the ceiling, and down. 3 more. And down. 2 more. And down. And 1 more time. And down. Now take your arms up to the ceiling. Palms face each other. This is called the hug. I'm going to bend my knee because my back is feeling a little tight, but you can do whatever you want. They can be straight or they can be bent. You're going to reach your arms towards each other. Your shoulder blades will start to open. And then exhale and open your arms out to the side. And your shoulder blades will come together. Your chest will open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. 3 more. Open. 2 more. Open. 1 more. And open. And then take your arms back by your side again. Take a breath here. Take your knees, bend them into your chest, and give yourself a little stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can rock a little side to side with your knees if you want to, or make little circles. Then put your feet back on the floor. Then from here, I want you to reach your hands forward and just take your head up and forward and just curl up like you're looking towards your thighs, and pull your belly button towards your spine. And if that bothers your neck, just skip it. Keep your head down. And then again. So we're engaging our abdominals, and try to keep your chest open. And down. And one more time. And out. Now roll to the side and come sit up. And you're going to have your feet flat on the floor and put your hands behind your thighs. Your knees are still bent. So you're holding on to the backs of your thighs. You're sitting up. And then you're just going to pull your stomach back and lean back a little bit using your stomach. So it's just a small lean back, but your hands are holding onto your thighs. So you're rounding back using your abdominals, and then you come back forward. You go backward, like you're making a capital letter C with your body from your hip to the top of your head. Then you come up and forward like there's a beach ball in your lap. And you're trying to go back and then lift yourself up and over that imaginary ball on your lap. 3 more times. Two more times. Keep pulling your belly button into your spine and then lift up and over that imaginary ball. And then one more time. And up. Okay, then you're going to go all the way down. You're going to actually sit up really tall and reach your arms forward in front of you. You can have your feet flat on the mat or dig your heels in and take your toes up. And you're going to go back and hinge with a flat back with really good posture. You're going to go back flat, just like 1 inch, and come forward. Just very small, using your stomach. And forward, and tall and lifted, like you want to reach your head up, up, up to the ceiling. Just small. And forward. You can keep your hands here, or if you need to, you can put them behind your leg. And forward. 2 more. Back. And forward. And 1 more. Back. And forward. Then just straighten your legs. They can stay bent a little if you need to, if you have tight hamstrings. And just breathe out and stretch yourself a little bit forward. Okay, then you're going to go back onto your back again. You can keep your knees bent and your feet flat or straighten them. It just depends on your flexibility and how your back feels. If you have a tight back or any issues with your back, you want to keep your knees bent. Okay, and then we're going to take your right leg and put your hand behind your thigh and straighten your leg up to the ceiling. We're going to stretch. So you're going to flex your foot and point it. Flex, point, and really move the foot. Really reach your heel up to the ceiling and point your toe like you want to touch your toe to the ceiling. 3 more times. Really flex it and point it. Flex it and point it. 2 more. Point, flex, point. Now we're going to circle the ankle. So your leg is not going to move. You're just going to work your foot like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your toe and really move it around. and slow. Really work it. Sometimes we don't even move our feet. They're in shoes all day and we're sitting 5 times each direction. Now let's go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now bend your knee a little bit into your chest and then straighten your leg back up to the ceiling. Reach your heel, but keep your bottom on the mat. And it's okay if your leg doesn't go all the way straight. Just do the best you can and keep your belly button pulled into your spine. And keep your back flat on the mat. And then do it 2 more times. And 1 more time. Good. Now take your right hand and just put it on the mat and keep your left one on your leg, but in your thigh, like on your inner thigh. And then reach your inner thigh, reach your leg across your body to the right, but keep your hip down. So you're going to probably feel a big stretch on the outside of your right leg and flex your foot, but keep your hip down. And then come back to center and put your foot down. And let's switch to the other side. Again, you can keep your feet flat on the floor, or you can take your leg up to the ceiling. So let's flex and point. Really flex and point. Two more. And 1 more. Now we're going to circle around. 2 more times. And then 5 the other way. Very good. Now we're going to bend a little bit and then really reach your heel up to the ceiling. Bend it and keep your bottom on the mat and then straighten. Little bend and really straighten. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Then take your leg, the left one, and reach across your body a little bit. Keep your hip down though. Breathe out. Then come back to center. And here's our last thing. We're going to do 1 last stretch. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. You can stay here. Make sure your hips are square, that they didn't rock to one side or the other. You can stay like this, or you can take your left knee and bend it into your chest and loop your hands through behind your left knee. Flex your right foot. And just breathe. Long, slow breaths. Then put your foot down and let's cross over to the other side. So your left ankle is going to cross over your right knee. Figure 4 stretch, it's called. And you can stay here. That's fine. If this feels like a really big stretch, just stay. Or if you need more, then you bend your right knee up into your chest. And breathe. Very good. Go ahead and put your feet down. Okay, come on up to sit. I'm going to move back to my desk, and then I'm going to show you some things you can do at your desk that take like a minute. Okay, so we will reconnect. Okay.
Great.
How is everybody doing?
Good.
Okay. All right. I want to show you some things you can do in like 2 minutes when you feel like you don't have any time or if you're in creative flow. So put your hands on your chair and open up, like we're like this a lot, right? Open up your chest and just lift up your chest and breathe and put your feet on the floor. And just take a couple deep breaths. And then come back to center. Okay. You can also just roll your shoulders up and back, up and back, up and back in both directions. The other thing with our head going forward, interlace your hands, put them behind your head. You'll kind of even feel if it's forward right when you start. And then take your head back into your hands and keep your elbows wide. Think of your head going up to the ceiling and back, and lift and breathe. Drop your chin and breathe. And you don't have to hold it long and you don't have to press hard. Make it gentle and relax. And you can do this, just these little things throughout the day, and then relax your arms down. And the last thing, the other thing that happens a lot is that I'm going to stand up. Everyone is like this. They do that in their chair, and that compresses your back, and then you end up like this. Does anybody get like that? So I want you to put your hand behind this part of your back in your chair and press against it to reverse that. Okay. And that's another thing you can check yourself during the day, because that is something that can, over time, when you keep tucking like that, your back keeps compressing. Steve, you had a question about the type of desk chair you use. That's a very good question. You have a lot of good questions. The desk chair that you use, that's a tricky question. Because I know a lot of people that get like the very fancy chairs and their back still hurts. I don't have a recommendation on the type of chair. I can only have a recommendation on the way you hold yourself and sit, and that you don't rely on the back of the chair that much, because I feel like if you can't hold yourself up, and you rely on it, it's just, you're going to have to take breaks because you're going to get tired, but I just feel like I don't know a good one because I haven't heard of one that helps. And if I do, I will message you because we are in contact with each other. But I will think about it. But that's an excellent question. Because, yeah, it just depends. Yeah, Lauren is saying, yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent point, that it depends on the desk you pair it with, because it's that whole ergonomic system. Like, you have to have the right desk, the right way that your keyboard's set up, everything combined together, just like how your body works together. Yeah. Yes. And I have like a pillow like this that I put behind my back sometimes. So there's all kinds of tips and tools, and everybody's body is different. So you kind of have to find what works for you, and you might have to kind of mix it up and see. So it just depends. But you mentioning that, I have something coming up that might help. So let me, first I think something I have coming up is going to help you. So let me move on. I want to kind of get into the takeaways, which I've kind of got into some of it. and I want to repeat them to you, but I think you guys are really good. Like, you guys have so much that you're already doing that I'm really happy with. Like, you're already taking breaks, you're already doing walking meetings, you already have like your yoga mat in your offices. Like, it's amazing. So keep doing that. Like, keep taking your short breaks. Um, it's really important. Um, keep moving your bodies in ways that feel good to you. Like, if you don't do something that you like, you're not going to stick with it. So that's really important. And please, please don't ignore the pain signals, and not just pain like body pain, like thirst, hunger, and fatigue, because those cause body pain also. When you're thirsty, you get dehydrated and then you get a headache. So don't ignore any of them, because you need to take care of your body. And also be consistent, and put it like, this is like a first step. Like, we did a workout and you came here, but you just, yeah, consistency is key with everything you do. Like, you'll notice changes when you're consistent. So if you put it in the calendar and you make it something that's important to you, that's when changes will start to happen. And then also just remember, like, when you do something for yourself and you take care of yourself, it's going to make an impact on the rest of your life and your career and your creative longevity. Okay, so now I just want to, we talked about slowing down and how that's going to impact your creativity. And someone shared this quote with me, and I just thought that it was really helpful. And I thought that it would be something that I want you to take away also. And something that we've been talking about today, that you'll find when you slow down, the things you've been looking for can finally catch up with you. So I think that if you want to screenshot it, if it resonates with you, please do. And we're going to get into a Q&A shortly, but I wanted to share with you some special offers that I have just for this group. So one of them, which this is what I meant for you, Steve, is a complimentary consultation. So it's a complimentary 15-minute client assessment Zoom call, and where we meet and you tell me what pain points you're experiencing in your body, and then I will look at your posture and offer you customized solutions to help you feel stronger in your body. And then we can also identify how we would work together. So that, Steve, is why I thought that might be good, because then I could see what you look like, and then I could be able to maybe offer you like what type of support you might need with your chair. So I'm going to put the link for that to sign up for in the chat. It's right there. And then the next thing I have for you guys is a group class option. So it would be a 6-week course specifically developed for creatives, and you can screenshot any of these as well. Each week there would be a different theme to help alleviate tension in the body and the mind. And then you'll gain strength, flexibility, improve posture, enhance your creativity, productivity, and overall well-being. And just with the themes, it would be like what we talked about, like what we experience as creative professionals, like low back pain, neck and shoulder pain. So each week it would be a different thing, but the focus would be overall health. But then we would pick something that we would need to work on at the time. And the investment would be $150 for the 6-week course. And this is the cost only offered to this group at a 30% discount. And the deadline to sign up is June 10th. And the day and time, that would be decided when the group comes together. So we'd have to find something like between 2 options for the group. And then we'd need 5 people to have the class. And then I'm gonna put in the chat right now, I'm gonna copy paste
Also, Andrea, just so you know, I know that Nancy will, she will be sharing that in an email as well, so that everyone has it. And she will also share the recording as well. So,
Okay.
yes,
Thank you, Yamilka.
of
Okay.
course. And she's excused herself for now, but yes, just so you know, she will go ahead and share that via email and also the recording, just so that everyone knows.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. And then the last one is, let me get my screen to go forward, is an intro of 3 private sessions. And unless you live in LA, there'll be virtual sessions like this, which I do all the time. And then I'll be there, you know, giving you one-on-one support, guiding you through it, and it would be personalized just for you. So if you have an injury or specific issue, then I'd work with you to work on your specific needs. And again, just like everything else, you would get, just with Pilates, you'd gain that strength, flexibility, posture, everything. And then investments, $270. And again, that's just offered to your group at the 30% discount. And the same deadline, June 10th. And I have a booking link for that I'm going to put in the chat as well to make it easy. And then let's move on to the Q&A. And you can ask me about the workout, Pilates in general, specific things to you, or whatever you'd like. If you have anything, I'm here. Let me know. And you can just freely talk or put it in the chat, whatever you want. And if you don't have any
If anyone has questions, you go ahead and put your, you can raise your hand, the digital hand. Okay, there is a question from Steve Horn. In addition to the yoga mat, are there additional gizmos you need for Pilates? Yes.
That's a great question. I get asked that all the time. Okay, so you don't. That's the simple answer. You just need yourself. And you really just need yourself, and that's all you need. So you don't really need to worry about anything else. But if you wanted to have other things, you could have, thank you, Sheila. Thank you. You could get a magic circle or small weights, but you don't even have to worry about it. So that's really it. You don't really need anything. You just need yourself. So it's very simple, because your own body is your exercise to do Pilates. Like, you use your own resistance with your body. But I get asked that a lot. And a lot of people also ask me, do I need to be in shape to do Pilates? Do I have to be flexible? Do I have to be active? And no, you don't. Like, you can start anytime. I have a 91-year-old client, and I also have a 16-year-old client. So Pilates meets you where you're at, and it's adaptable, and it's for everybody.
Excellent. Do we have any other questions or, well, this was great, Andrea. Seriously, I've moved in ways I didn't think I could. So thank you so much for coming and doing this. Right now, Nancy is not feeling great, but she will be in touch. Thank you so much for your time. And just know that everyone will get, Nancy will share this recording, and she will share your links as well. So thank you so much for joining the CR. We're very grateful.
Thank you so much. It was great to be back with the group and see all these familiar, friendly friends and people from the group. And I was happy to be here, and I had a great time.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank
You take care. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Goodbye.